back. Thanks for staying with us. While noting that the APNU AFC administration has done nothing but frustrate the timeline for general and regional elections, which is constitutionally due in March, opposition leader Barry Jagdeo said on Thursday that there is a possibility to extend that deadline, but only if there are steps taken by government in good faith to uphold the constitution. Vanu Manikchan filed this report.
If I saw good faith movement on their part, right now they're ignoring everything. If they're saying there is a genuine effort to meet the constitutional deadline, then it would be unreasonable for us to say, all right, you miss it by a week or 2 weeks, then the elections, that we'll make a big issue of it. But there is none of that now. Nothing on the side. In fact, they're actively encouraging the breach of our constitution.
That was the opposition leader speaking at his weekly press conference earlier today, where he told reporters that there is no room left now for further talks between himself and President David Granger. The
president has no interest in meeting, and at this point in time, I have absolutely no interest in meeting with him too. What are we going to meet to discuss? What are we going to meet? He keeps ignoring all that no confidence was passed and that it's not business as usual. His entire government goes out to argue that it's business as usual. How do you break through that mindset?
Jagdeo further pointed out that the legislature, through the Speaker of the National Assembly, and the judiciary, through the acting Chief Justice, have already deemed the no-confidence motion valid, thus paving the way for the coalition to resign and call elections. But he noted government continues to delay this process.
International community has weighed in on this matter. They said respect the Constitution, and they've called on the courts to expeditiously hear the matter. I believe if the Court of Appeal does this, that this will reach the CCJ in a short while. And I've seen how the CCJ has moved when elections are pending. They've done that before, acted in a very, very expeditious manner. I have no doubt that at the CCJ level, that this matter will be dealt with expeditiously. I do have some concern about them trying to delay past that date by not filing this appeal, the Reid appeal, or early.
The opposition leader reiterated that once the March 19 deadline passes, the government becomes illegal, and this will place Guyana into uncharted territory with grave implications, both locally and internationally. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchan.
We reported on Friday that Chief Elections Officer CEO Kate Loonfield says he has been waiting since January 2019 for instructions from the Guyana Elections Commission GECOM to begin preparations for general and regional elections. However, no word has been forthcoming from the Commission, and its chairman, Justice James Patterson, was unable to tell reporters at a news conference why a decision is yet to be made. More from Davina Samaru.
Approval has got to be granted to the Secretariat for us to move into that mode. No doubt at the level of the Commission, all the deliberations about budget, what is approved, the commissioners will deliberate on that and so on, and no doubt before they arrive at a decision. But I would have been, at this time, had that been provided, at a place where I would have been trading tomorrow at some place. The ink issue and the seals and so on, yellow, green, and red, I hope that is not offensive to any party, would have been ordered. And we would have been in a place moving towards a constitutional deliverable.
That was the Chief Elections Officer speaking at the press briefing earlier today. The 7-member Elections Commission is responsible for making decisions which will then be executed by the Secretariat. However, Justice Patterson, who is the head of the commission, blatantly refused to say what is stopping the Commission from instructing the Secretariat to begin preparations.
That is not my ball to call. I'm chairman of a commission. I can initiate and have implemented policy.
But surely you guide the commissioner, sir, and you can say, or I'm assuming you can say, can we decide on A, B, C today or within a week?
It all depends on the circumstances.
What circumstances are you looking for to confront you, for you to make a decision, say, let's vote on A, B, and C?
I can't think of anyone at the moment.
What is the problem preventing a decision from saying to the Secretariat, go ahead and start your work for elections? What is the issue? Is it house-to-house registration? Is it claims and objections? What is it?
I can't make that decision.
No, it's not the decision, sir. What is it that is holding up the process from informing Mr. Lowenfield, Mr. Myers?
You have to ask the commissioners that.
Individual commissioners?
Yes.
Are you saying, Mr. Lowenfield, that when you asked to be put into operational mode, that no three of those commissioners gathered said yes, go? None of them said yes?
That doesn't sound like something contentious.
Nevertheless, the Chief Elections Officer has formally stated that elections cannot be held by its constitutionally due date, which is March 19th, owing to the amount of preparations needed. In fact, it was noted that some 148 days is needed to prepare for elections, and according to Lowenfield, if the Secretariat gets the go-ahead to commence elections preparations now, then the country could head to the polls sometime in July 2019. As time progresses without any move towards the hosting of elections, the People's Progressive Party's civic opposition is accusing the Elections Commission of deliberately delaying elections. Davina Samaru reporting for the Evening News.
And finally, PPP presidential candidate Irfan Ali on Saturday assured residents of Berbice that with their support behind him, he will ensure that the region's economy is revitalized should his party go into office. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael was at that meeting and filed this report.
Ali met with persons at the Port Morant market and then had a walkabout in New Amsterdam before going to East Kanchi, where he held 2 meetings. The visit was part of a national outreach the presidential candidate is on. According to Ali, he is trying to meet as many communities to get a feel of what is happening on the ground as it relates to the day-to-day issues people are facing in their communities. He told the media that it is very important to get an understanding of the regional issues in addition to national issues.
We are also listening to some of the ideas and suggestions to address regional issues here, the closure of the sugar industry, the increase in land rental, the new taxes and license fees that is affecting small businesses in this region are some of the issues that people would have raised, but they would have also give us some ideas as to things they see. Some things very basic that can improve their lives. The intention here is to chart a way forward that can really bring our people together, that can see an integrated approach to development where all of Guyana, all Guyanese can benefit. All regions can see a hopeful future. All regions can see a future in which the lives of the residents in that region would be uplifted.
According to Ali, many persons complained of drastic increases in their water bills since the commencement of the year. Issues surrounding the Friday market at Port Morant as against the challenges being posed to the Saturday market were also highlighted. He added too that the closure of the sugar estate is not only having a negative impact on business, but also has a psychological effect.
One of the things that people don't value, that you hear on these community outreaches, is the psychological effect that people are having as a result of losing their job.
The presidential candidate also spoke of some of the issues which have been making headlines, among which are the New Amsterdam Hospital, the SPU charging persons $500 to pass through to the cultivation area on their way to the savannas to fish, and GWI.
The water issue here seems to be really multifaceted. One is that the persons are not getting water. There's a shortage of water. Some communities locked out of the supply of water recently. Then you have the increase in water rates, although they're not getting water. Then you have some of the fisher folk met us and told us that they have to pay $500, I think, to go to catch fish and to get the bancarilla, or wild carilla, some people would call it, to sell. And I mean, these are people who lost their jobs. They don't have anything to sustain their families and help their children, and now they are forced this way. It's like penalizing someone who's already suffering. Another big issue is the land rental charges, between 1,200 to 4,000% in some cases. This has to be reversed because the farmers are not making that. So, and of course the healthcare, you mentioned it, New Amsterdam Hospital, the healthcare nationally has been on a decline. The availability of drugs is a major issue. So these are all issues that people have been raising on the ground.
For the evening news, Andrew Carmichael.
That's a wrap on this week's Week in Review. Do join us again on Monday at 19 hours for the evening news. From all of us here at TVG Studios, thanks for watching. Do have a safe and productive week ahead. Goodbye for now.